Hi, it's Paul here from selfupforlife.com, and this video is going to be a little bit different, as you can probably already see on your screen. I have a special guest with me today, and this is the first time I've ever had a guest on my YouTube channel. And the guest I have is Rowan from Love Work at Home. And between us, we're going to cover 10 tips to help you work effectively from home and do this with a smile and without any stress and without feeling overwhelmed. So I'm going to kick off with the first one, which is scheduling your time. So when you were maybe working in an office before, there was often quite a routine to it. There's the commuting, maybe you had certain meetings, you'd have lunch at a certain time. And when you're working from home, often you lose that routine. I mean, you might have some meetings on Teams or Zoom or something like that. But typically there's a lot less structure to the day. So an important thing to do is to really plan your time. So what I do, I mean, I've been working from home for a few years now, so way before COVID. But what I do is I plan my day in hour chunks. And I put these in my calendar or in an Evernote, something like that. And then I work out what I'm going to do at those times. And what I also do is I allocate a little bit of time for breaks. So I make sure I allocate breaks as well. And what I also like to do is to do my more difficult tasks earlier in the day. So it's really deciding when are you most productive? When do you have the most mental energy, and planning to do those tasks then. Another thing really is to make sure that you plan a bit of catch-up time, because there's always unexpected things that happen, unexpected emails, phone calls. So later in the day, I might allocate an hour and a half where I don't have anything specific planned in that time. So I find that really helps me as well. And it's not just about planning your day, it could be planning your week as well. So having a structure and a plan for the week. And one thing that I know some of my colleagues do is they have theme days. So this is more for someone who already runs their own business. So they might decide that Monday's their video day, Tuesday might be their day where they do coaching calls, that kind of thing. So that can be really helpful as well. Another thing I do is I plan my day the night before, because that helps me sleep better, because I already have a clear plan in my mind of what I'm going to do the following day, so I can sort of relax and just go to sleep. And Rowan might chip in on just a little bit, but there are tools that I don't use yet, but I'm looking into, like Asana and Trello, that can help you with planning your day more effectively. So, Rowan, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, with all of it, but something that chimed out to me was your point about planning it the day before. And in fact, I do a goals call with my accountability coach on Sundays, and that's when I sit down and I think about the week ahead, and I actually have a rough plan for the week. When I look at it come Friday, I'm like, oh wow, that week didn't go as planned. It really does, but at least there's a plan in there. And similar to yourself, I actually do break the days up as well into day blocks. I do it in Excel. Simple,
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
Excel spreadsheet, and I
yeah.
break it up into half-hour chunks from even 6 a.m. right through till nighttime, so that I can see on there when I'm doing my fitness, when I'm commuting, what I'm doing on work, and then I break up my work into the two. I don't break it up task by task, but I keep it a bit more general, a bit more broad, and a bit simpler by just allocating what time am I spending on engineering work and what time am I spending on love work at home. And when I see those two colors there, I go, okay, I've really got to stop engineering now and flick over to love work at home. And I think it's really powerful, because you can kind of guilt yourself into going, I'm not working on my passion project right now. It's in my schedule. I need to be getting onto that. So I find that a really
Exactly.
powerful thing to do.
Great. That sounds really good. Okay, so Rowan, would you like to introduce the second tip?
Yes, the second tip is health and fitness. Sorry, I'm just trying to navigate and do stuff in the background here. I'm not health and fitness. If I did not start Love Work at Home, I would definitely have started a health and fitness channel. I'm wild about it. I probably should have gone into some sort of health and fitness career before I was kind of found myself in engineering unexpected. Well, not unexpectedly. I made lots of choices, but anyway, I digress. Health and fitness, I'm mad about it. I think about it a lot. I test different things on myself frequently. Just the last 2 weeks, I've been testing the intermittent fasting, which has been interesting, and I've drawn my own conclusions as to what I should be doing. But anyway, in terms of work from home productivity, what I do to really make sure that I am juiced every day, and that's what it's all about for me. I don't want big muscles. I don't want to be the fastest runner. I don't want to have some sort of be in ketosis all the time or whatever. I just want great energy, and I want great concentration. They're the two big ticket items for me. And so my challenge is always, what can I change? What can I do to get better and better? And where I'm at the moment, I'm in a really good groove. I've discovered that intermittent fasting is not actually for me, because I would probably fade away and be blown over by a slight breeze. So what I have found, and what I am actually doing, is sleep. Getting a good night's sleep. I need about 8 hours. 7.5 is totally fine as well. When I start getting down to the 7 mark, that starts to become a bit of a problem for me the next day. Waking at the same time every day. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock, and that's just the time that I get up pretty much 7 days a week. Even Saturdays and Sundays, I don't really... I like that consistency. I like feeling great every day. I don't like going to bed late, because it just messes with my next day, and I hate feeling low and slow and sluggish. Wake up, exercise is the first thing I do. I'm there doing a bit of exercise. In fact, I wanted to share some resources with you, if I can work out screen sharing. Not this one, but a bit of exercise stuff. So yeah, I might do a bit of Daniel PT Fitness. He does all sorts of HIIT stuff, body weight exercises, all that sort of jazz. I also love doing a bit of yoga with Adrian, or yoga with Tim Sinesi. Shout out to all those people, by the way. And then it gets into food at breakfast time. This is a book that I highly, highly recommend everyone reads. It's incredibly interesting. The Plant Paradox. I'm not going to go into it, because you've just got to read it. Trust me when I say this is a fantastic book. If you're into your health and getting optimal energy levels, optimal concentration, all that sort of stuff, then there are really are a lot of hidden dangers in what we're often eating.
Yes, I've heard of the Plant Paradox book before, so I'm definitely going to read that on myself.
So yeah, that's my main tips for health and work productivity. Getting up same time, bit of exercise in the morning, whatever that means for you, whether it's yoga, working out, going for a run, going for a walk, going for a swim, whatever suits you. And great breakfast. That's my top tips for work productivity and feeling great.
Maybe you could share, what is a good healthy breakfast for you? What would you typically have in the morning?
Good question. And in fact, I got my wife, knowing that I was going to do this video, got my wife to take a photo of what I had this morning, which is a recipe from the Plant Paradox. And it's these, they're essentially gluten-free. They're called mug muffins. And you get coconut flour, almond meal, an egg, some olive oil, some coconut oil. I use MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride oil. Also a bit of baking powder. I zap that and then put on some coconut yogurt, some frozen organic berries. Beautiful, doesn't clog you up. Otherwise, I'll just have that once a week because the kids love it as well. Otherwise, I'll have 2 to 3 or 4, maybe even 4 green smoothies a week, because that just packs in so much good stuff. Otherwise, some eggs for breakfast. That sort of stuff. So I just try to steer away from sugary cereals and too much bread, because for me, it clogs me up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I do the green smoothie every morning. So I often make them the night before, so I can just have them while I'm doing things in the morning. So green smoothie is great. And sleep, biggie on sleep as well. I actually track my sleep on something called the Oura ring. I don't know if I bring that closer whether you can see that. I'll put a link in the description below for those, but it allows you to see the amount of time you're in deep sleep, light sleep, and it will help you optimize your sleep. And it's also good for tracking things like body temperature as well, so you can tell if you might be going down with something. And there was actually a while, so I'm digressing slightly here, but there was a while where I was actually partaking in a survey about COVID symptoms using this. So they were taking the data from the Oura ring and then combining that with another study, and that was really, really interesting.
Wow, that is interesting.
Now, if I do have a day when I've not slept very well, a power nap can be really, really helpful. I keep it to about 20 minutes, and I usually just sit in a chair rather than lie on the bed. And that just gives your brain just a chance just to recover. And I find that can really, really help. So if you do have a bad night's sleep, and sometimes it's unavoidable, that can really help. And for me, exercise, unlike Rowan, I tend not to do exercise first thing in the morning, but if I find a time when my brain is just needs a break, then that's when I'll do some exercise. So I really find that helps clear the mind.
Yeah.
So I think we're up to number 3, aren't we, Rowan?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So number 3, and this is one I do. This may not work for everyone, but what I do is I start immediately as soon as I get up. Okay, and I get up about 6 in the morning. So for me, I like to get important things done before 9 a.m. And when I say important things, these are the kind of things that are going to sort of move my business and my life on in some way. So are going to have long-term beneficial effects. At that time of the morning, I don't get any distractions. So I don't tend to get phone calls. My wife is often still in bed, or she's doing other things. She's often doing her exercise. And I love the feeling at sort of 9 o'clock to feel like I've accomplished something significant. So for me, it might be, a blog post or maybe even recording a YouTube video or something like that. And that works really well for me because I find I'm most mentally alert in the mornings. Now, that may not be the case for you. Some people that may be more, maybe more of an evening person. So it really depends on you. But this is something I've done for many, many years now. I mean, there were times when, when I was working in jobs where if I didn't like my job, I would spend 6 to 8 in the morning applying for other jobs. And then I go to work at 9:30 and I feel, okay, I might still not enjoy my job, but I've done something this morning that's going to help me with that. So that was really good. Now I use that time a lot just to work on aspects of my business. So, and then what I also find is great is maybe at 7:38, I sort of hit a bit of a wall and I need a break. That's when I have my breakfast. That's when I have a shower, those kind of things. So that's a really good one for me. Anything you want to add to that, Rowan? Yeah.
No, that's good. It's we all have different cycles through the day and energy levels at different times, and I just think that thinking about it and trying to build awareness in it for one's self is going to be the best thing for work productivity, because as you said, it comes 7:30, you know that you have a bit of a slump, and whether it's probably a very normal, inherent, not sure if it's even genetic, but a very natural thing that's occurring in your body. And I just think having that awareness is brilliant, and acting on it and using it to your advantage, saying, okay, I'm not going to get much work done now. Let's have a break. Let's go get some food, have a shower, have a bit of a change of physiology, and then get back into it when I know my brain is back on and recharged.
I think we have mental cycles in the same way that we have sleep cycles, and we have times where we know we work better. I know that early afternoons doesn't work that well for me. So okay. All right, I think we're on to number 4, Rowan. Over to you.
Yes, a bit of breathing. So breathing is, I really just learned about this when I went to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within 3 or 4 years ago now. And of course, we breathe every day. We know it's important, but my awareness was really built as to how important it is. We can go without food for several weeks. We can go without water for several days, but a couple of minutes without breathing and we're cactus. It is our ultimate need. It's the number one thing that we need just so much. And it's so important for so many different things. I read a book not so long ago. I think it was called About Your Brain. I'm not quite sure, but it really spoke about how oxygen in our system is critically important for the breaking down of food and for the process of this crazy process of what goes on in your body when you eat something. And oxygen plays a huge role in this crazy stuff that's going on in our guts and tearing apart molecules and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it's full on. It was a really interesting read. Anyway, another resource that I want to share with people, worth checking out to build your awareness on breathing and just to get a bit more of an understanding as to how it can help you day to day with your productivity is, if I can share my screen again, Wim Hof. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Wim Hof. This is him here. He's the craziest, coolest nutbag you've ever seen. There's somewhere in there, there's a video that of him on Tony Robbins' stage at some event many, many years ago, and he's just done some phenomenal thing. His take on it is that just through breathing, you can tap into, I believe it's your parasympathetic nervous system, and just by tapping into that, you can fight disease, you can fight, it is so important for you. Have a look at some of these videos. He's done some things like doing marathons in the Arctic Circle in, just a pair of shoes and board shorts, or maybe not even shoes, just wild things. I think he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with no oxygen, and it's just a phenomenal man. The other resource is Pete Egoscue, which I'm going to share in our other video that will be connected to this one. And he's got his own video on Pete Egoscue on the importance of proper breathing. So in terms of what I actually do, whenever I think of it, now that I know how important breathing is, whenever I think of it, I just stop, take a few seconds. It is the absolute easiest thing you can do, and just go in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, and do that cycle a few times, and it just oxygenates your system. Something amazing that we did at UPW, Unleash the Power Within, was doing that a whole bunch of times, and then breathing out. And when you normally breathe out, you can't hold your breath for very long, maybe like 5, 10, 15 seconds. We did that exercise, breathed out, and I was able to hold the out breath for over 1.5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it just showed me that oxygenating the system and oxygenating your body is a very real thing. You get it into your bloodstream, and it's running around there, and it's helping you in many, many ways. So, yeah, did you have anything?
A couple of things to add to that. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes use a technique called 7-11 breathing, which is breathing in over a count of 7 and then breathing out over a count of 11. So next time you walk past a 7-Eleven shop, remember 7-11 breathing.
Good one. Yeah, good mental cue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's the way the brain works. We work on associations. That's how we remember things. So yeah, the Apple Watch is quite good. If you've got an Apple Watch, there's the breathing app on the watch that reminds you at regular times of the day to take a breath in. So that's good. It's good. It really helps calm your mind as well. So if you're feeling a bit stressed and you're feeling overwhelmed and your mind is really busy, then just taking some breathing can really just help relax that. It's so simple, but most of us don't do it. It is,
one of the best, most easiest things that you can do in an instant.
Yeah, it's just and we make life complicated sometimes, I think.
Yep,
so yeah.
Sure.
Another thing sort of related to this is rapid relaxation exercise. I won't talk about it now. I've done a video on that, and there'll be a link to that in the description, so feel free to check that one out. And I think that leads us to number 5, which is one of my ones. So this is about scheduling, communicating your schedule with other people. Okay, so, in a normal situation, you're in the office, your wife is in a different office, another part of town, whatever. Now we're all at home, and you might have kids at home as well. And it's important that they need to know that you are working. Okay. And the best way to do that is through communication. So as I say, this could be a partner, it could be family, it could be flatmates, housemates, anybody that lives in the same house as you. So what are the sort of things you might communicate? So it might be times of any meetings, okay, or times of things where you need to really concentrate and focus. It could be calls. In my case, it's really hypnosis sessions. So it's just reminding my wife that when I'm doing a hypnosis session on Zoom, that particularly during the hypnotic bit, that she's not in the kitchen trying to make cakes or something, So things like that. So that's just communication. And other times, sometimes I'll put my headphones on, and that's my clue, my cue really, that I don't want to be disturbed. So you can have some kind of visual cue that can help. And I think other people in the family and need to know, especially if they don't work, like kids, that you are still working even if you're at home. That's really important. And when do you have that conversation? Well, I think the night before is a good time. Just have that conversation, or early in the morning, first thing in the morning before you get into your day. So anything you'd like to add to that, Rowan?
No, I agree. The having that conversation just a bit beforehand is good, because otherwise it can get to that point where you end up having that conversation right when you shouldn't be having that conversation, and you're stressed and you're annoyed and it comes out the wrong way. So having it the day before, like, hey, I'm going to be doing this at this time tomorrow, if it's okay. Yes, exactly. Totally agree. Before.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so nice. I mean, I love the fact that being at home, my wife's at home as well. It's lovely to have that more time together, but you just got to be able to manage that and make sure that you get your work done as well. So yeah. That's really important.
Yeah.
So these are 5 of our 10 working from home productivity tips. Now, the other 5 tips are over on Rowan's YouTube channel. That's Love Work at Home. So I'll put a link in the description below this video. And I do encourage you to go and check out that video now so you can learn those other 5 working from home tips. So if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe and like this video and leave a comment below. And I look forward to talking with you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.